Interesting. If anyone out there has any questions or anything like that, you just need to message studio@southernfm.com.au email and send me a question, or, if there's something you want to talk about, then please let us know, because I can do that for you. Bring on someone who has the information that you would like to hear. I have Kristine here with me, and we're talking about life experiences, self-confidence, self-worth, all those sorts of things that are important to us as individuals when we go out into the big wide world and we pursue life. And that could be working for somebody, it could be you working for yourself. You could be so creative that you become an entrepreneur in your own right and become, it could be anything. Look at the billionaires, the millionaires in the world, and how did they start? Where did they start from? What was it like for them when they were growing up? Did they have the confidence and self-worth to start creating? Obviously, they did. Some of them are a bit nerdy in the IT area, but you know what? The creations are magical, and we wouldn't have the technology if we didn't have those nerds out there, would we, Kristine?
Very, very true. Once we find our inner confidence and we have the support system, I guess is important as well, to have some level of support system behind us. Go and use our superpowers. It's so important because you never know what you're going to create if you really tap into who you are and what you love doing, rather than what you should be doing.
Oh, don't use that word, should. No, it's what you could be doing or you want to do.
Exactly.
And are inspired to do and create, use that imagination and grow and develop as an individual, not as, yes, you can be in a community and you can do things with communities and all that sort of thing, but you can also be an individual and be very creative in what you do, which will support others in what they do or give them the confidence to be able to pursue the things that they want to pursue in life.
Co-creation is so important. One thing is what we can create ourselves, and that's powerful, but what we can co-create with each other takes us to a whole new level.
And co-creation is a really important thing because you can do so much on your own, but then there comes a point in life where you need help from others. And we are strong at certain things, but then we're not as strong at other things. So therefore, and you look at the people that have really big businesses and things, they started it, they got it to a certain level, but who did they bring in to support them so that they could grow the business and they could do what they needed to do, and their team could do the other things to support that growth and anything that happens. So it's really teamwork, isn't it? You start off as an individual and a solopreneur, I'll say, and then you work it up and you gradually build your business or whatever it might be in life. And you get to a stage and you think, well, this is either going to make me or break me.
Yes.
So I need help. Who do I get to help me? So you find those people that are strong at the things that you need them to be strong at. You look at Henry Ford, who, wasn't the best scholar at school, but what did he achieve? Because he had a team. And all he had to do was press a bell, and the person that he needed to do whatever it was at that time would come and do it. He didn't have to do everything himself. He was just, no, he wasn't just. He was the instigator. He was the person that thought these things, but brought other people in to help him build that empire that still stands so strong today.
Very true. And I like how you mentioned we start as solopreneurs, many of us, not all of us, but many of us start as solopreneurs, especially if we start a business a little later in life,
Mm-hmm.
usually. And the one thing they don't tell you is how much upskilling you're being asked to do. Yeah. There are so many areas where suddenly like you have to get on top of, I'm in customer strategy and branding and marketing. I wasn't strong in finances. Yeah. I've had to learn that. Technology has not been my thing, but I've had to learn that, especially with the lockdowns and suddenly being online, doing everything. Yeah. It was a massive upskilling maneuver part that we all had to do suddenly. Yeah. So there's so many things when we start out in business where we don't necessarily have the skills, but when we don't have the money to hire in people at that stage either, we kind of have to learn it a little bit. Yeah. And there's some pleasure in learning afterwards, but not so much when we're going through it. Once we learned it, we might think that's great, I learned something new. But as you're going through it, it's not so much fun. But, as you build a business, you will get more and more confident, or you won't keep doing it, because for
It's
most
too hard.
small businesses, it's gonna get tough. It's gonna get difficult. You're gonna have massive challenges, and it's gonna take you to the edge of where you want to, can I do this? Do I really want it? Is this too hard? Do I have what it takes? Am I passionate enough? And I think for many small business, I'm not saying all, we have to get to that point and go, yes, you know what? I still choose it. No matter what, I choose it because it's what I want to do. It's who I am. I'm excited for it. And if we're not wanting to do that, we may have to go and figure out something else. And that's okay too. There's nothing wrong in that. It's just, from what I've seen for most small businesses, not all, but many of them do go through that several times in their business life stage, where we come to a point, it's a new growth point. We either stay put or stop it, or we have to move forward through it. Yeah, we have to develop that growth mindset.
So true, because when you start a business, and I think, I've seen many people start businesses and they really don't have any idea. They go from a 9-to-5 job or whatever it is, and then they start their own business. And what's your own business, a 9-to-5 or a 24/7, basically? And the challenges, and you don't realize how many challenges, or you challenge yourself to achieve something. And then you celebrate that, because that's really important to celebrate. They say everything, the small things, the medium-sized things, the big things, everything must be celebrated when you achieve it. And we can achieve so much by growing and getting support from the people that we need support from. And as I said, we can't do it all on our own. We get to a point where we've done it all on our own and we've got it there, but we need other things. So we bring in those people. And that's a challenge in itself as well, because are those people suited to what you want them to be in that team? And sometimes they aren't. So what do? You have to get rid of them and find somebody else. But, I quite enjoy a challenge. I think challenges make you think outside the square or outside the box. They make you more determined, or they do me, more determined to achieve and not give up. But sometimes you can get to a point where you can't go any further unless you've got someone else in there to support you or show you or guide you, or you can't find someone, so you have to let it go and find something else to do. And there's nothing wrong with that, because what you've learnt from where you've been to where you are today is exponential. And you can take that to other things and be proud that you had a go.
And all, for me personally, as I mentioned earlier in this interview, I came from lack of self-worth and lack of confidence. And I must say, I did not realize when I quit my job, because I burned out 8 years ago, and I didn't know I was burned out. I just quit. I just couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't keep working for someone else. I didn't realize that I was burned out, and this was going to be not just the start of a business, but a start of a great personal development journey. And most of all, it was the time to regain my confidence. And whilst it's been really hard to be in business on my own, it has been so liberating and such a growth spur in terms of finding my full worth and finding my confidence. And I wouldn't have found that without putting myself in my own business. We all have different ways the universe will teach us how to overcome whatever we were struggling with as children, and that we're needing to grow out of and and find ourselves, our full self, our true self. And for me, my business has helped me do that.
Yeah. And you do grow because in business, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You think you're going along all right, and then whoops, something will trip you up, and you think, oh, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? I don't want to do this anymore. And then you think, there's one thing I won't do, and that's give up easily. I mean, there might be certain things that you need to give up on, but there's certain things that where there's a will, there's a way, and there's a way around it.
And being open-minded to that in terms of saying it doesn't necessarily have to be the way I thought it should be, and then going, okay, this clearly isn't working, especially if you've had several knockbacks from the universe that tells you this is not working, this is not the direction. And then suddenly you go, okay, let's listen to the universe, let's listen to what's in here, and let's go with it. So when the lockdowns happened, my business crashed. There's a number of reasons for it happened. One, I only had a few big clients, and I happened to have, and I could not have, there's nothing I could, this was out of my control. The clients I had were in businesses where they were impacted by it, and it didn't take long before they were retrenched or given a package. Yeah. So suddenly I, as a one-man band, lost my key contacts within my few clients, big clients who were paying the bills, because I didn't need that many jobs working with big clients. Yeah. And suddenly they were gone. I had no contacts left. And I'm like, that was the end of my business. And I was like, what do we do now?
Mm.
And it was like, one, I had to rebuild that part, which I still am. And two, as much as you can say, oh, did you just break your heart? No, because it gave me time to create something that I was really passionate about, had been passionate about for a long time, but didn't have time for, which was to create an offer for small businesses, where I could work with small businesses and help them build successful, sustainable businesses by being more strategic in how they conduct their business. And so it was actually an opportunity. So on one hand, I was really upset, no money, no client. And the other hand, I was like, wow, I have time to be creative. I have time for me. I have time to create something. And then, of course, comes the point where we go, I need money. Yeah, I need to make some money. Yeah. And then that's when we start going, okay, what can I do now to bring it in and make it happen faster? Yeah.
Yeah. But it takes courage, doesn't it?
Yes.
To continue on that journey, because we can easily say, oh, I'm a failure. I've failed at this, but there's no such thing as failure. The only time you fail is if you absolutely give up and you don't have a go.
Yeah.
We can make mistakes and things happen that, challenge us, or it's not going right. Well, with the what happened a couple of years ago, and I don't want to mention it, it is something that taught me a few things. I hated it, but it taught me things that I didn't know. It taught me how to do things that I didn't do before. So therefore, in some ways it was good, and in other ways it wasn't so good. So I say thank you for the things that it gave me that I needed to learn and understand and be able to do. But it was very challenging at the time to keep that motivation up, and to be positive about what was happening. And it could have been handled a lot better than what it was, but it's gone now, so we'll just leave that one alone. But some things were learnt from it, from a lot of people. There were people that grew their businesses through that period of time. There were people that lost their businesses, lost their homes, and all that sort of stuff. But if you stop and think about who you are and the magic and the brilliance that you actually have inside you, you're quite capable of doing so many things. And all you need to do is have the belief in yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. And have that belief so that you can say, I'm going to have a go at this, and let's see what happens.
And trust life. Trust that life is working it out. Even if it doesn't look like it's working it out at all, it is actually working it out. And you may not find out until later, because it feels horrible at the time. Totally get it. Been there, done that. And I certainly am still working through some of that. But overall, have we come out in a place in ourselves, not in the world, but in ourselves, where we have more clarity in who we are. We're becoming more true to ourselves. We're clear on where we stand in life. And that is a positive too, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think there are a lot of people that are out there who feel better about themselves. There are a lot of people that don't, but there are a lot of people that do feel better about themselves and what they can achieve and what they can do in life and how they can support other people in life to grow and have that confidence, that self-worth, that self-esteem, so that they can go out and pursue the things that they want to pursue. Life's fun. Life can be tough. It can throw a lot of curveballs at you, and you just think, keep throwing them, mate, because you ain't gonna beat me. That's what I say anyway. I just can't help myself. But it's the power, the power that we have inside us to be able to achieve and not give up is there. All we have to do is find it.
Yes. And that's the key to it. We have to find it. And for me, that meant a deep dive into myself and a personal development journey that I wasn't looking for in the first place. But it came to me and it was meant to come to me. And it's made the world of difference. So if you aren't already on a personal development journey, I highly recommend that you get on one, because it may be hard at first, but it certainly will liberate you too.
And being on personal development is different for everyone, isn't it?
Totally.
I think we're on a personal development journey all our lives.
Absolutely. Whether we were aware of it or not, yeah.
Absolutely. We're on this personal development journey, and it depends on how you look at it and how you approach it. You can be reading books and learning from it. You can have coaches or mentors or, mastermind groups or whatever it might be that you're in. But we're constantly learning whatever happens.
Yeah. Learning and growing. If we're ready for it and open to it, we can stay stuck, or we can go, okay, this isn't nice, but I can learn and I can grow from it.
Absolutely. And that's the exciting part. We can always grow and have fun. That's the most important thing, is having fun with what you do. Don't look at it as a job or something like that. Look at it as something that you're learning from, something that you're doing to help others make a difference in their life. So you're making a difference to yourself, but you're also making a difference to others.
Which is a great feeling when you actually feel like you are helping others and they feel, they feel better for it. It's a great, great feeling. There's nothing as satisfying as that. And I think it's also important to remember we're all on this journey. You're not alone. We are not alone. So connecting with others, like-minded people, can really make or break you on this journey of life, because once we start understanding ourselves, we're more likely to start bringing in through energy, because we're energetic beings. So we're more likely to start attracting people that we resonate with as we get clear on ourselves. And so you might think, oh, but my husband or my mom or my daughter doesn't like how I am now. They don't recognize me. They feel I've changed and all this because, I'm not the same anymore. And I go, sure, that is hard, but that's their reality because they were used to a certain version of you that they were comfortable with. However, you do not owe it to anyone to stay the same. We're all here to grow. And as we grow and we feel, when I'm a bit lonely, I might have lost some friendships during what happened in the last few years because of different stands that they wanted to divide us on. But with that in mind, as much as some people are leaving our life and we can be scared about that, we have to look forward and see what's coming into our life too.
Absolutely.